All right, let's move on, Lana. Another one, we talked about this story last week and we had to wait 10 days to see what would happen with Donald Trump's bond. Former President Trump posted a $1.75 million bond on Monday to satisfy the judgment in his New York civil fraud case.
Was it 1 point or 175?
I'm sorry. Yeah, 175 million. Thank you. A much smaller sum than the initial 454 million. The payment means that the presumptive 2024 GOP presidential nominee, who is facing a cash crunch as he fights his numerous legal cases, has likely avoided a worst-case scenario of frozen bank assets and asset seizures. The New York appeals court last week reduced his nearly $500 million bond to extend the deadline by 10 days. The former president then signaled at the time that he would be able to post the bond. He got it from another one of these insurance companies. Letitia James was poised to freeze Trump's bank accounts and to seize some assets. That's something I'm sure we all would have loved to have seen, but I think we all knew that he somehow was going to be able to come up with this money just off the news already. That
these are his friends. Like, I guess the guy that is at this insurance company, I wrote it down for my show on Thursday. I can't remember his name, but it is one of Trump's buddies who has bailed him out before out of a bind. So it's someone he knew.
Yeah, I mean,
but this time it's a win-win, because if Trump does something, this guy is going to take Trump's, it may not be Letitia taking a property. It may be this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think people, just to be clear, that the reason why he's putting this bond up is because he wants to appeal the case, and he's not going to win the appeal. And like Lana, I think, said a few weeks ago, the thing he might win is they might reduce the amount that he owes, but he's still going to owe a significant amount of money. And, I don't know, how that works. I mean, I don't know if he doesn't win, does he have to pay back this bond that is being borrowed right away? I don't know. I don't know what the setup is there.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
And again, these are all, we're just telling, we keep going over these stories. This is a guy who is running for the president of the United States of America and somehow continues to get bailed out. We're going into April now, and this is where everything's going to start kicking into high gear. We're going to start seeing a lot of shit that either should be happening or, that should be happening and that's going to happen, or should be happening that's not going to happen. And I have a bad feeling that we might be lucky to see one of the trials. This document case is not happening. It's 100%. If it is going to happen, it's happening next year. I'm still afraid that this Eileen Cannon.
Yeah, and Jack Smith has not asked her to recuse herself. So that, and like after this last thing that she did with the jury questions for a jury that's not in existence and for a trial that doesn't have a date is definitely odd. And I'm surprised Jack Smith did not file a motion for her to recuse.
Yeah, I think I heard a legal expert talking about this, and she was indicating that at this point, Jack Smith won't do that. And he won't do it because at this point, it just would not look good for him. That if he was going to do it, it should have been maybe a while ago. But now it's at a point where, I was just, and who knows, I still don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this is all going to play out. Maybe Jack Smith has something up his sleeve. I don't know. He seems like a very intelligent guy. Right. And I keep hearing people like Jack Smith is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers.
I hope so.
His queen might be trapped right now.
It's all Merrick Garland's fault. Like, it just took so long. Like, oh my God, Merrick Garland. Like, and I bet he's like the worst at this job ever. He would have been better on the Supreme Court, because this is just not where he should be.
Yeah, maybe even 3 months earlier, 5 months earlier, whatever.
But I just imagine him just kind of like it's all over his head. Like he doesn't even understand or think about what's going on. Like you referred to, what's the problem? Like what took so long? Like
Yeah.
what took so long?
And again, Lana, I will be honest. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason why it took so long. Maybe there were reasons why he wanted to do it earlier that they couldn't. I can't give an opinion on something I'm not 100% sure about. But you're right. It is frustrating because it seems to me like these could have been brought in earlier. I
Right.
have not heard
He
any
could have brought Jack
explanation as to
Smith
why they
in
weren't.
earlier. Yeah, he could have brought Jack Smith in earlier. Like, why did it take him so long to make that decision?
Yeah,
That
I don't know. And it's like I said, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that, there is a possibility that Donald Trump won't see justice, at least on that case, because there are slight indications that Eileen Cannon's going to find a way because of her pre-trial ruling that she's allowing the defense to bring up something that was initially brought up where they were going to say that Donald Trump could basically do whatever he wants to do. And
right,
Eileen Cannon ruled against that. But she did it without prejudice, which means that they can bring it up again. And she's going to find a way to dismiss the case somewhere down the line. And because she's dismissing it at this point after the judgment, that they cannot take it to an appeals court. And I have a feeling that Eileen Cannon is going to say, I don't give a fuck. What's going to happen to me?
right.
And she'll do it because Donald Trump, I'm sure, is hounding her all the time. There's absolutely no question in my mind. You're out of your fucking mind
Yeah,
if you
he's
think that Trump and Eileen
calling
Cannon
her.
aren't in
Right,
some sort of contact with each other.
right,
That
right.
I don't believe. If anybody even tried to convince
I
me.
mean, that I would love if like somebody had a recording of that chick, because that would be amazing.
Yeah, oh,
Blockbuster. Oh my
no question. If we
whew,
can, yeah. You know what though? I'm afraid that if we heard one, it still probably wouldn't matter. Somehow it would just
that is true. But at least she would be gone from the case.
yeah, yeah, you would hope. So I don't know.
Right, that's true.
Everything's so frustrating. Okay,